facilitates creativity and initiative and service.
Creativity and initiative in their service. Thank you. Yeah, keep missing someone? Okay.
I have to spend my life, time and give my life to the mission, so I want to be an ambassador.
So encourage, this is an atmosphere you want to be in to
commit one's life
your whole life. Thank you, Mark.
Come here.
It prevents the echo chamber effect.
Could you help us understand what an echo chamber is?
Echo.
Yeah, echo chamber is a situation, it's an environment, a group in which everybody just echoes each other. And so there's no real learning, there's no real thinking out of the box, and the priority is to conform to others' people ideas, especially leaders.
Just what I'm trying to create in ISKCON as well.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, one or two more, is that all right?
Yeah.
One.
Gives comfort and security.
Comfort and security.
This way, the person encourages to own the responsibility in the temple themselves.
That encourages people to own the responsibility. Yes, Maharaj.
The leaders are free to explore about more positive avenues rather than catering to the issues and problems within the ashram.
This is a very important point, which we won't have time for. We can do a whole presentation on this again, but it's something called appreciative inquiry, where you find out what you're doing well and you grow upon that. Like if your child is getting 3 A's and 1 C, the tendency is to send them to tuition for the C, but rather let them go for the A's and become really great at the A's. That's Varnashram. Yes. Okay, are you satisfied?
Feel free to approach for fresh avenues of growth.
Okay, last we'll take that.
Yes.
It creates a Brahminical culture where we have the right to disagree, and like even we had Charvak, who's an atheist, accepted as a rishi in the Vedic culture.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, what a great list. We don't have to present anything else, it's all here.
Good for the next presentation.
Yes. Next. You can go. So let's to devotees.
Very similar to what they was. It was very good, you see.
Yes. Go ahead, next.
Oh, wonderful. Is that Gopal Visharaj? Yeah. All right.
At least it gives me psychological safety.
Yes.
Sorry.
Now we get to see all the things that RishiKumar does on his computer all day. He's not feeling very psychologically safe right now.
You can see how empty it is.
Okay, that's the first one, yeah. Yeah,
Next.
keep going.
Next.
Next one, because they really covered that
Next.
better than we did. Yeah,
Next.
next one.
Okay. So we see here
Mother, can I ask something going wrong?
psychological safety and commitment to excellence. If there is very
Photo of that given to me.
If there is very less psychological safety and less commitment to excellence, then people are in apathy mode. They are indifferent. They are not taking any initiatives. If they have great psychological safety but no commitment to excellence, they are in comfort zone. They may be cool, not doing anything. And if there is great psychological, great commitment to excellence, they want to do really wonderful things, first class things, but there is less psychological safety, they will be always in anxiety mode. Whereas when there is great commitment to excellence and great psychological safety, one will be in learning mode, improving more, performance mode. And this is what, if our temples can be, if our environment can be, then we all can be growing, learning and progressing and expanding Krishna consciousness.
And
The goal is, psychological safety is not the goal, it is a means to the goal.
is that clear? It's really it's necessary but not sufficient is another way to look at it. But it really helps reach the goal. It's kind of like Varnashram is like that. It's not the goal, but it helps
So
you
I
get pure
request
devotion.
RishiKumar to continue, take forward from here.
So there could be, what could be, just don't start that, go back, yeah, keep it here. What could be some of the parameters by which we can judge if there is psychological safety in a place, in an organization, in a temple, etc.? You could have some few points, please raise your hands and will contribute here. What could be some of the parameters? How can we judge if any environment has got psychological safety? Yes.
Devotees are happy.
That's a unique idea.
Excited when any service is given to them.
Excited when service is given to them.
Devotees are open.
Devotees are open. It's taken on a mobile, we'll take it later. Devotees are open.
They just call out.
With each other.
There's many creative projects.
There are many creative projects.
There is no fear to express.
No fear to
No fear to
express.
express. Even I told them raise your hands, you didn't still express.
Cooperative relationships.
Cooperative relationships, yes.
People attracted.
Attractive. People are attractive.
People are attracted, yes.
Koga.
And our Lord is all attractive. Yeah.
Adventure, there's a sense of adventure.
There is a sense of adventure because people are free to take that level of risk, and greater the risk, the greater the return, they say. Yes.
Okay, I think that's good.
That's a lot of ideas. Yes, Mother.
Translation and purport, one sec.
They can communicate properly because they used to, their opinion will be accepted.
Their opinions can be heard and accepted so they can communicate freely.
Something to do with the connection, yes. Your tech support guys, yeah. MTech Computer Science, please come.
50 people, have rush forward. So, in the meantime, so what happened, how this presentation came about was we have a monthly meeting of the ISKCON Rizal people from all over the world. And this is something, I'll tell you the history.
I think what we'll do is we'll keep.
How I got interested in this is I'm a consultant for NASA, the rocket people. And 7 people died in the Challenger explosion. And it was because of that psychological safety. The junior engineer knew about the problem. But the senior engineer and the leadership was so hell-bent on launching that day, and they were so, he was afraid to speak up. And because he didn't speak up, 7 people died in that explosion. And so that's how the NASA started with this Ombuds program. There's an Ombuds, are we almost there? I'll just finish this one. An Ombuds is someone that you can talk to about any concern you have in the organization, some conflict you're having with another devotee, or just you want someone to talk to and you know it's completely confidential. And so that's why NASA did it, and that's why we also have ISKCON Rizal and the Ombuds program in ISKCON. Okay, back to you, Rishi.
So it clearly leads into this first point. You would probably request each one of you to read a point in save time. You just pass the mic along. Start with him, he missed out the last time.
If devotees make a mistake, it is not held against them.
This is one of the most significant key drivers for psychological safety. I'm not going to be penalized, I'm not going to be the boy who dared to ask for more. Like Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist.
Devotees are able to bring up problems and tough issues.
So what happens is I'm only able to give the feel-good stuff. I'm not able to ask the tough questions.
Devotees accept others being different as much as possible.
So the biggest issues come in because people think there is an issue with not having an issue. That is, people are different. And we generally say that accept people as they are. And it's not so easy. Therefore there are differences because each jiva is unique. Therefore, the point that we have to accept people as being different as much as possible, and with the psychological safety, we'll be able to be a little bit more accommodative, a little bit more generic in our approach, or homogeneous in our, or more holistic rather in our approach of accumulating more people, and that will assimilate more people into the yatra, that will make them more expressive, and so on and so forth. Yes.
It is safe for a devotee to take a risk for Krishna in this temple.
This was already mentioned by, I don't know who said this, Kalakantha said that, about how it facilitates risk taking.
Risk and adventure.
Risk and adventure, yes, thank you. Who else?
It isn't difficult to ask other devotees for help.
Yeah, often there is an issue because people are struggling to open up. When there is psychological safety, no matter the issue, the person is able to open up because he knows that there are people who can help. And of course, the system provides for people who can help.
No devotee would be deliberately act in a way to undermine efforts.
Undermine the efforts of the whole process of psychological safety, also for matter any issue that comes up in psychological safety.
And no sabotaging of things.
No sabotaging, no vandals, no goths.
Working with devotees here, each individual feels reassured that his or her unique skills and talents are valued and utilized.
So one of the important things that gives any employee, and Gallup did a huge poll in corporates, amongst corporates, and one of the results that came out was that the variable that most employees valued, more than salaries, more than anything else, was employee engagement. There has to be a clear role for devotees, in this case for ISKCON, and they should have something to work with which involves them fully, their skills, their capabilities, their faculties, their propensities, their talents, all of them are put to good use. And that is provided in a system of psychological safety.
I'll just add to that, one other thing is confidentiality, to know that you reveal your mind to this other devotee and it doesn't end up on Instagram 5 minutes later or something like that. And in ISKCON Resolve, because we strictly promise confidentiality, we have a lot of people coming explaining that I'm really struggling with one of the 4 regulated principles, and they feel so relieved just to be able to tell another devotee about their challenges, and it's almost halfway to curing them.
I'm sorry, I almost kept that too confidential. I should have revealed the point about confidentiality. Yes. So how can we create psychological safety in our temples? I think we discussed that in one sense. So I know that, but I'm just saying that.
You said we did that.
Go to the next slide once. Yeah, no, go back. Yeah. No, go back. Yeah, thanks. Prabhu Nere. Yeah. So the first one is about. So how can we create psychological safety? How can we ask somebody to down the computer without him feeling insecure? How can we ensure psychological safety in our temples, according to you? We have understood what's more or less psychological safety. You looked at the 4 types of collaborative learning, etc., all those. Now, what are some of the things that we can do in our temples to ensure an environment of psychological safety?
The leader can regularly ask the devotees to share their opinions on various issues.
Okay, open house, just call it open house. Below. Go below. One second.
He's the MTech also. I'm in charge of all the temples in Delhi and MTech.
That's minimum qualification, join the temple.
You said?
Yeah, leaders should regularly ask.
Open house, call it open house in corporate. People can air their ideas. Assembly or open house or Ishtagoshti. He just said that twice, so I'm rephrasing him.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Please give me psychological safety.
We can request ISKCON Resolve team to come and train the leaders.
He is fixed.
I'll pay you later.
Some other points, please.
You probably talked about the ombudsman person.
Ombudsman.
Yeah, so but when is that ombudsman visible? It should be visible, approachable, accessible, and.
Thank you. Visible ombuds. Maybe you can type it as open it up. His first language is binary, second language is Hindi. Yeah. Who else has a few points? Yes, Sir Guj Prakash Guru.
The environment or the culture can be established in such a way that the other devotees are naturally inspired to reveal their heart.
How that can be done?
It's a brainstorm, you just don't know right. Environment,
I'm going to mediate between those two after. Wait, we have translation.
If someone asks for help, we help.
If someone asks for help, we help. What language do you speak?
Hungarian.
Hungarian. Oh, I didn't learn that in high school. Yes.
It is exemplified whenever that situation comes, certain situation comes. When person comes with mistake and it is accepted. So that exemplifies to the community.
That it's an environment that provides for safety.
And teach by example.
Teach by example.
Yes, Maharaj.
The leaders, they should be qualified to do the service, and they should be qualified to do their service, and in that way they're trained not just to get results, but they're trained to just equally look after the devotees. Because if we have to look after the devotees, we'll get results.
Why is this sound like
and Maharaj is one of our ISKCON resolved members.
They now got to resolve this mic issue.
Yes, Maharaj. Why it's sannyasi time.
Devotees are encouraged to do their sadhana sincerely, so it creates an atmosphere.
Okay. Do their sadhana sincerely, yes, Prabhu.
I think I should start working on my own psychological safety and
work on one's own safety.
Work with one's own
psychological safety.
Emanating to others.
Yeah, sometimes anyone beat themselves up, really, say, oh, I did this. We sometimes really criticize ourselves really badly. Okay, is that maybe one more? Or is that enough?
You can take maybe.
Anything else?
Who else wants to contribute? Yes. Prabhu there.
Oh, the microphone doesn't seem so big so far away.
Sorry.
Devotees have to have the courage to speak up if they don't perceive psychological safety in their temple environment.
Thank you. What temple did you say?
I travel.
Oh, that's why. You see, he has psychological because he has to stay in one place long enough to not have it.
I was in Gainesville.
The leader has to be very encouraging and leader himself has to be very secure.
Leader has to be secure and encouraged himself or herself. Yeah.
Those are a lot of wonderful ideas. We'll park it there, move to the ideas that we sort of jotted down. Take a look at it, some of it may be overlapping.
Wonderful.
Go to the next slide. So, in general, we're saying that you could all read out one of those. I think my turn to pass to my mother. You can read.
Establish a culture of open and respectful communication.
You can just complete reading it out.
Be transparent, this builds trust. Set clear expectations. Reframe failures and mistakes as learning opportunities. Take a supportive and consultative approach to leadership. Establish ISKCON Resolve services.
I just didn't want to directly read the last part. So, Kamte Pradijanahi kind of thing. So this is very important that we need a culture of open and respectful communication. Fortunately, in our movement, it's easy for Prabhus to be addressed as Prabhus and Matajis as Matajis, which is a very good beginning. If there's any organization there can be psychological safety, at least to this extent, it has to be ISKCON. And be transparent, this builds trust. In India, it's a huge issue. Corporate governance, transparency, etc. And globally also, for corporates, it's become a huge issue. ISKCON is not just a spiritual organization. ISKCON is also a public charitable trust, a society, etc. registered across the world in various entities, in the form of various entities. So when we are transparent internally with our systems and our devotees feel psychologically safe, and it builds trust for the society about the trust that is ISKCON. And when we set clear expectations down the line and even across, the organization becomes, it escapes groupthink. People are willing to open up much easier. And we don't penalize people for failing. Prabhuji is talking about that seminar that is going to talk about the, what's the thing?
Festival of error.
Festival of failures. Festival of failures, and the most important thing is that leadership gets involved in a very consultative manner. It is not top-down. Conventionally, in religious organizations, it's a top-down approach, very hierarchical. And while our God is one, it's very clear that He also never is alone. Our God here in Mayapur is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and He believes in Sankirtan. So there is no question of top-down alone. There is a consultative approach. Mahaprabhu personally, AcharyaRatna gave us this idea, we were just discussing, how Mahaprabhu he took the opinion of Sanatana Goswami to not to travel to Vrindavan with such a huge group. Or for that matter, Damodar Pandit openly criticizing Mahaprabhu, and he took that also as a proper feedback. And eventually, in ISKCON, we got this opportunity. We want you all to look at ISKCON Resolve as a very, very positive alternative to creating an environment of psychological safety. Therefore, just go back. Yeah, go to the next slide. Yeah.
This is a paid political announcement. Or what I mean by that is it's a bit of a promotion. The devotee in the UK put this together.
ISKCON is a complex organization with a presence in more than 100 countries. Our lives can be intense, balancing our spiritual practices with our great variety. And let's be honest, working with others, even devotees, can be challenging, even in the best of circumstances. Sometimes you need someone to listen to you and help you think and consider how to deal with a situation. An ombuds is a conflict resolution specialist that offers a confidential, informal sounding board to explore problem-solving options. We are here to support devotees by listening, asking questions, helping you consider your options, and providing information about resources. All ISKCON Resolve ombuds have been trained by experts in the field. Most often, devotees talk to the ombuds either in person or by WhatsApp or phone from somewhere private like an office, a conference room, ashram, or outdoors. Before we start, I want to review my role. The ombud service is totally confidential. I won't share anything you say with anyone unless there is an imminent risk of serious harm.
Oh no, it's nothing like that.
Good. I'm also neutral, so I'm not an advocate for any level of devotees or ISKCON management. I am, however, an advocate for fairness. My role is to help you think things through and arrive at a way forward that you feel will best address your concern.
Well, I could use that. And I definitely want to make sure the ISKCON leadership knows what I've been going through.
I'm also independent and informal, so you aren't filing any kind of formal grievance or complaint by talking with me. ISKCON won't know anything about this unless you decide to raise it somewhere else. And I can help you with that. Does that make sense?
Okay, well, could I raise it later and still talk with you now?
Yes, of course. From there, conversation can go in many different directions. Devotees raise concerns in a variety of categories such as disagreements over preaching strategies, relationship challenges, leadership styles, legal and compliance issues, mistreatment, safety, philosophy, and others. With each person, the ombuds listens, helps you get clarity about your goals, and helps you review all your options on how to deal with the situation. Communication comes up a lot, and we can help coach you on how to have productive conversations. These are the kinds of options that you might think through when speaking with an ombuds. Communicating directly to solve a problem, raising an issue to ISKCON authorities, requesting mediation or group facilitation, seeking more information, contacting other resources such as devotee care or services dealing with conduct issues. There is generally no one right answer for any particular dilemma, but the ombuds can help you think through the pros and cons of going one way or another, and we can help navigate you through some of the bureaucracy to help provide clarity on the options. We strive to help individuals feel more confident about what steps to take to address their concerns and help ISKCON have a more conflict-competent culture. If you think you could benefit from talking to an ombuds, please get in touch with us.
All right, that's the Ombuds program.
Take less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Think of your temple or your yatra, your project, wherever you are situated in. In terms of psychological safety, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, where would you rank yourself? This is for your introspection.
Yeah. You don't have to share this with anyone.
Just think in your own mind. Okay. Now, there would have been a nice animation and an effect coming through, but we just wanted to, there seems to be these two fellows are not talking to each other, so we'll do some mediation between the projector and the laptop now. So what I would like you to do is, what can you do to raise your temple's score by 1 to 2 points, wherever you've given your rank, from there to raise it to say 1 to 2 points by 1 to 2 points, what do you need to do? In other words, what strategies or actions can be implemented to create a safe environment, to raise questions and divergent thoughts in ISKCON. One of the essence of democracy, essential points of democracy is dissent. That's the way it is being structured. But in temples, often dissent would mean that we immediately talk about Arisudana, Madhusudana. You cannot even speak up against Bhishma, leave alone fight with them. Prabhupada gives us in the purport. So in such a culture, what are some of the strategies that could be adopted in order to ensure that there is a very safe environment to raise questions and divergent thoughts in ISKCON? That is what will take you from, say, X to X plus 1.
Right, I was just going to say, we're not saying if you say 6, like what makes it a 10, but just what's a baby step that you could take to make it a little bit better. So think about that. What do you want to do?
Share with the partner.
Just
Share with the partner.
yeah, you could share with a partner, but ideally I would have liked
Because of time.
Yeah,
Time doesn't.
constraint.
So you could just call out a few ideas.
Yeah, call out
if you want to share an idea that might help you, because you're all leaders, run temples and yatras and things, or have disciples, what might be a way to just make it a little better?
Have communication about it, like talk to them about.
So talk about psychological safety.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can share the PowerPoint. It's not.
This was the idea AcharyaRatna came up with. We were talking the first thing. In fact, he started doing it with his team in Newtown. This afternoon he had a meeting. He ensured that he applied this principle. So that was something.
So you can go to the Newtown Temple and talk to people privately and check if it's actually safe.
You can find some ombudsman and make everybody
tell you,
know about it.
we want in each of our presentations.
Yes.
So like sometimes devotees might be hesitant in speaking in public, so creating facilities where they can share their thoughts privately, like through Google Forms or something like that.
Yeah, the general principle is praise in public
reprimand
or chastise in private. Yeah, like we were just joking before presentation, and Prabhupada said, be a lion on the chase and a lamb at home. Sometimes we're a lamb on the chase and a lion at home.
So making our systems very transparent and clear so that the expectations are clarified.
Okay. One here.
The number 2 cause of conflict in the world, by the way, is unclear expectations. So whether it's a brahmachari joining an ashram, very clear what he can expect, or and what to speak of entering a marriage or something, having expectations clear.
Maybe some changes in the managerial structure where you have like a decentralized power, like highly concentrated power in certain places creates a culture of maybe fear and hesitation, and multiple layers of power can be distributed in multiple layers, and maybe multiple centers in each place, like that.
Thank you.
You're not listening to record, right?
Yes.
Sure. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu. We do have to.
Having thick relationships with the leaders so that you don't have that barrier that they may misunderstand you.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Go to the next slide. Thank you for those contributions. This is what I go to the next slide. So these are some of the things, just to capture some of this. One is the devotees feel more engaged and motivated. They contribute. It's an environment that they can contribute freely. They can objectively take decisions, and they are motivated to be continuous learners. Organizations are encouraged to be learning organizations. And there is a fact that I could learn from even my failures because it could lead me to newer opportunities. And finally, just to ensure that the title is also captured, Enlivening Devotees, Productive Temples. That's the goal.
Our leaders shall be careful not to kill the spirit of enthusiastic service, which is individual, spontaneous, and voluntary. Hare Krishna. Now, one announcement before I let you all go. We are doing a Maha ISKCON Resolve training after Gaura Purnima. It'll be virtual. So if you have any interest either in yourself attending that, or you want some devotees in your we need a piece of paper. Well, I'd rather them actually write that. I'd rather get. If you can also take a picture of that and contact one of us, and come up afterwards. We'll just take down your name and email address, and we'll send you information. We're going to be doing we're really doing a more thorough training than we've ever done in the past. 8 hours, 2 days, 4 hours each of really thorough of conflict resolution and the skills involved, and then 6 more hours if you want actual professional training as either a mediator or an ombuds. And you get certificates at the end, and so I'm certified to do that, so I can certify you. So if you're interested, please do that. If not, thank you so much for coming. This is the graveyard shift. This was the last presentation of the ILS. So thank you very much, and please accept our humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.